So maybe let's move on to kind of like the big news, which, as you said, obviously is the executive order that has been signed yesterday. I think it's worth unpacking that because obviously it's been such a long week. We've all been waiting for some sign of bullishness. So maybe let's go right into it and unpack it a little bit because there are some interesting points which are worth mentioning, in my opinion. I think it all starts with this is the first good point, basically saying protecting and promoting the ability of individuals and private sector entities to access and use lawful purpose open blockchain networks without persecution. I think someone got released from jail a couple of days ago, Ross Ulbricht, and he has been sentenced to a life sentence in prison because back in the days, he created Silk Road, but he got pardoned by President Trump. Same thing is Tornado Cash, for instance, which is a crypto mixer, which mixes transactions to make them more anonymous. Also spiked in price when this came out because it clearly shows that these protocols, these technologies should be kind of like a neutral playing field. Or how do you see that?
I agree with you as well. And I think like just in terms of, because with Silk Road, with Ross Ulbricht and with Tornado Cash, it's still debatable whether, how lawful it may have been. But
Absolutely.
largely speaking, I think the industry as a whole, particularly US based individuals and projects have really been hampered in growth and by the previous administration as well. So you saw a lot of, SEC, Wells notices going out to things like Uniswap, IMX as well, Immutable, which is actually operating out of Australia. But regardless, I think the main point here being is that the US will be more open for business. They'll be open for blockchain-based projects to come
Yeah.
there and to innovate. And that's something that it's suffered with throughout the years before. A lot of talent drain moving away from the US. And now we expect that to pick back up, I think.
Exactly. Really taking away the fear of some of those brilliant minds, developers, entrepreneurs to actually settle down in the US
Yeah.
and build their projects. Absolutely. The next one, also a very big one, is promoting and protecting basically the US dollar dominance by promoting the development and growth of dollar-backed stablecoins. And that kind of goes hand in hand with number 5 here is taking measures to protect Americans from the risk of CBDC, central bank digital currencies. I think
Yeah,
that's a big one as well, no?
that's really big. And I'm actually really happy about point five in specific as well. But I think the US generally has been thinking about, hey, how can we protect our US dollar, particularly with the rise of BRICS and other kind of pressures coming in the macro sense. It's been thinking, how can we do this? And I think stable coins and can promote this quite heavily. As we know, most stable coins are denominated in the US dollar, and it can drive an additional stream of demand for the dollar via, this blockchain based operation. So it's positive because it means it can, defend its US dollar. But the next thing that is good here is that we will not see the rise of CBDCs. For those,
Which is massive because,
yes,
yeah, obviously, as you said, like I've been hearing this all over and over again, like what's going to happen to stable coins and crypto when these CBDCs come out. And obviously, as you mentioned, there was always been kind of that fear that CBDCs become a new tool for financial control or of capital control, basically, because obviously that is a digital currency that is completely controlled by a centralized entity, the central bank, and therefore a lot of people thought, okay, there might be, capital controls, different interest rates for different people, and a lot of more tools for them to control the money flow.
yeah, agreed. Like it feels like that would have been a really big risk for individuals because I mean CBDCs, you still the central bank will still be the one issuing these currencies. So you're going to put these currencies in on the blockchain, it doesn't mean that they're now decentralized or anything like this if the issuing party is still the central bank. So, and that, like you
Yeah.
said, they could have built additional tools on top of these CBDCs to offer individuals more specific interest rates or some other features that would have given them even more control, which is, of course, goes against the ethos of crypto altogether.